Yo, welcome to the Inconclusive Show.
In this show, we talk about the things we want to talk about.
We're just three lifelong friends.
Brought up in three different ways.
With three different
With
perspectives.
three different perspectives.
Three different perspectives.
This is our show.
So stay tuned.
Welcome back to the Inconclusive Show. It's your boy Dez. I'm with Arnett and Eric. And today's topic are, well, we'll get there. What's going on?
Not much.
Hello.
Just
Having a nice day today. It's going to be hot in the beautiful city of Tracy. Looking like a 99-degree day. What about you guys?
It's gonna be hot over here too.
Jesus
Hey,
Christ.
it's gonna be about 95 in Sac. Sorry, I already feel it.
Man.
It's coming through the windows.
All right.
I feel it in the living room. We don't have any type of AC.
So, what are we talking about today, Desmond?
Movies and how they changed your life, or just how they influence pop culture.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's start off with the huge major blockbuster of the 90s, the Titanic. Like,
Oh God.
we've all seen it. We all know about it. So what makes it so, like, I understand why it was special, but, like, I've seen other movies that I can honestly say I felt like was on that tier. Like,
Right.
so.
You have to remember, though, when was the Titanic shot?
98?
In the 90s, yeah, 98.
The big thing about that movie was the special effects. That was another reason why it was held to such high esteem. I mean,
Bruh,
19.
Okay, when did Terminator come out? Because I'm pretty sure.
Okay, here's the thing. Terminator
That
was
was a good movie.
was in the 80s. I
That
think
was
late 80s.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
that was not good.
What do you mean it wasn't
CGI.
It was
kid yourself.
groundbreaking for the time period.
For the time period, but I'm saying that it's the same thing with the Titanic, with the whole the ship sinking. It was like groundbreaking to see a whole ship sink in a movie, and have people like,
Yeah.
you know.
No. Hold on. You're forgetting Star Wars, Chief.
Oh my God,
That came out in '77.
bro!
It was pretty buns.
That
What
was
do we-
some groundbreaking.
Like, when we're
stuff.
talking about, if we're
in
talking about,
'77, though, we're talking per era,
If we're
per
talking about, like,
generation.
we're
Like, yeah, it was
talking
groundbreaking
sci-fi,
for the
like,
'70s.
that was, yeah, it was pretty buns when it comes to sci-fi. Like, sci-fi itself, it was pretty buns, bro.
What is Arnett talking about?
What do you mean by pretty buns? Like,
What are you
garbage?
talking about?
It was garbage, like the effects it had. Like,
You
what we're
trash,
What are you talking
trashing
about?
The original trilogy?
No.
The
The
special
'70s Star
effects-
Wars.
The
What are you
special
talking
effects
about,
was
Arnett?
Pretty trash.
For
Star
what?
Wars.
What are you talking about? For what
19
time?
The first series of them. Like
Trash
the very first
in-
Star Wars movie.
What are you
Okay,
comparing it to?
well,
I'm not comparing it to movies of that time. I'm comparing it to now. Like, it's
Oh,
buns.
you can't do that. We're saying
Well,
it's groundbreaking
duh.
for the time.
But we
Duh.
weren't born in that
Compare
time.
it.
So, wait, we weren't born in that time. That didn't shape our
oh my
culture.
God.
No, we're just
Like-
saying that CGI. There's every like couple years there's a groundbreaking movie. I mean, speaking of like every generation, is there? I mean, we've seen some very realistic CGI, right? Like, can they get
Yes.
any
And remember,
better?
what was it? Avatar.
Yeah,
That whole
Yeah, I was gonna say, that one was
Pandora
called
planet,
groundbreaking.
That was pretty good.
I mean, it
That one
looked
was called
it was
groundbreaking.
real. It looked real, right? Like, could it get better, or are we at like the plateau? Are we stuck? Are we stuck at top
VR.
right now?
If they have VR movie theaters, no, I think we'll continue to go forward.
Virtual reality.
But
Yeah,
there's
virtual
already
reality.
VR. There's already that. You guys
Yeah,
go to
but
Universal
3D
Studios.
technology, like 3D technology at the movie theaters is not the same as VR technology. Like, virtual reality is better than 3D technology that you see at the
No,
But
movie.
feel
I didn't say 3D, not
virtual
3D.
reality would be more expensive.
Not 3D.
Yeah, I'm not saying
talking
that.
about.
It wouldn't.
I'm not saying 3D.
Oh, you're talking about just
I'm
on
not
the
talking about
screen.
3D.
You're saying just on the screen.
I'm talking about like interactive, like dang near VR. I mean, well, better than VR.
what?
It's interactive.
What?
Like, have you been to Universal Studios?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen those.
Did Ern-
I've seen those screens.
Yeah, so it's like an interactive VR experience.
Because I see. Because you're feeling everything around you while you're watching it, like you feel like you're actually there. Well, yeah, VR is
Yeah,
just
you're
like
actually.
that. If you have
Yeah.
a VR, if you have a VR chair, if you have the VR headset, if you have everything that's included in the VR, like for the full experience, it's just like that Universal Studios trip. It's exactly like it.
Do you think they'll introduce that to movie? I mean, movie theaters. It just feels like it would get rid of the.
The ticket, I'm pretty sure if they do, the ticket prices will fucking skyrocket.
Well, it depends on the way they do it. I mean,
Yeah,
Like how would they do it then?
and not only that, I just can't see it going into the movie theaters only because if you're in VR, you can't talk to your neighbor. Everybody at the movie
Yeah,
theaters like
yeah.
kinda-
But you're not supposed to talk to your neighbor when you're watching a movie.
I know you're not supposed to, but people. I mean,
But
that's part of the
people
enjoyment
do.
for people.
Yeah.
You know, if I can't,
I hate it when people talk to me during a movie,
I do too. I,
I guess-
absolutely hate it.
it depends.
especially
what
if
kind
it's a
of movie
movie
it is.
like I've been looking forward to seeing.
Yeah.
Like, do not talk
Okay.
to me for the next hour and a half.
I will heckle. I will
2
heckle
hours
a
tops.
movie. I will heckle a movie if I don't like it. I will
Yeah,
heckle.
see,
it.
Yeah, we
Like,
can't see movies together then. Arnie.
Yeah, we can't.
No,
I don't
if I
think.
don't
Have
like
we
the
ever?
movie-
I've seen. Desmond, we have to talk because you think we saw a movie together that
We did.
me and Katie do not remember at all.
Okay, well, we did see it.
We saw Star Wars.
We went
together.
to the Century Theaters before it was remodeled. 2015.
Downtown?
I watched the Star Wars movie. No, Arden.
Arden.
We were driving your old beat up Pontiac, whatever that was.
Saturn.
Yeah, the '94 one was that '94
Saturn.
94 Saturn.
The Saturn. The stick shift.
See, I don't remember that.
Anyway,
all.
back to VR technology. So, if they do bring VR technology into the movie theaters, they'll probably have you use your own phone.
What?
And
But
have
with what
No.
glasses though? Like you have.
You think?
you have
Oh
to have-
heck no! You gotta bring
What?
in your phone. You know how
They'll
janky
have you use
people's
your own
phones
phone.
are.
Yep. That's
Bro, that
they'll
would be
send you a
horrible.
code.
First off,
That's your
true
fault.
VR is not on a phone. Like VR, real systems are not used with your phone.
It's in those big ass glasses, right?
Yeah, like
Yeah.
you have. I mean,
Yeah,
like
they
they
are.
have cheap VR, which is like you put your phone in these
The one you
goggles,
put on
and
your
then you're
phone,
like
yeah.
burning your eye sockets because the
Well,
phone
how do
is
you
like
think it's going to be affordable?
2 inches away from your
How do you
eyes.
think it's going to be affordable for the movie theater? The movie theater already has to invest into the chairs. They might as well have to skim on the
What I'm
on
saying
that
is that-
side of it. Like, yeah, figure it out.
What I'm saying is they would have to make a very durable goggle system, and it would be very uncomfortable because it would be like you would like sit in the chair and then it would fold down over you, probably like the goggles would like fold over the top of your head.
Well, yeah, but then you gotta disinfect them every single time.
Exactly.
And that takes
Not only
Yeah, that's
money,
not. That's
it-
not
yeah.
happening. That's not happening. Have you been to a movie theater?
Yeah. So I
you
can't
are
see
not
them
watching a matinee,
inducting VR into movie theaters. It
it's
would just
bad.
especially
At home,
especially
yes.
in today's time with the whole Corona thing, like that's spread germs.
I didn't say
every-
that'd start now. They might start in like a year or two or a couple years, but the
But
movie
still,
theater has to
Corona.
do
I feel like
something.
Corona would still be around.
that would be bad. I mean, the movie theaters are closed anyway, so
Right.
it's not.
And they
I mean,
might stay
VR it would be
closed.
closed still anyway. So
They might
you know,
stay closed.
Yeah.
They
But
were
when
already
they
staying
open,
by a
What do you
thread.
mean stay closed?
I'd suggest
Like,
I'd
we'll
suggest
never have movie
our
theaters
viewers,
again, or
I
that?
suggest our viewers invest in movie theaters because that's just gonna skyrocket as soon as Corona stops. or
They're not going to
Corona is
skyrocket.
done.
The movie theaters have.
I
been
feel like they are.
proven
People
successfully.
are gonna
I mean,
rush back to the movies. They're gonna rush back to the. It's the idea of going to the movies. Like, yeah, you can.
But I don't
stream
think
everything
it'll
you want nowadays, but
I don't think it'll skyrocket. Otherwise, no one
people
will go
will
back.
go.
I'm like, bro,
They'll
if
go to,
we go back
they'll
to
go to the restaurants. They'll go to a lot of shopping centers. Shopping malls will be packed. What else? Sporting events, maybe.
I don't
Depending on
know.
the NBA season.
That's the goodest that I don't know. I really don't know. That's a good question because both you guys could be right. People could go back and people could just be like, I don't really want to be in a public place like this that much. There's both those type of people out here. So I think there will be less people than expect. There'll be less people, but more than what they expected because they're not expecting people to come back out. And
That's
be
not
in
true.
close corners
Everyone's
with
going to
each
be.
other's-
Okay,
Yeah,
okay,
but what I'm
yeah,
saying-
that's true.
Everybody's
Not
gonna
right
come out
away.
their house.
Not right away.
Yeah,
Everybody's
what-
gonna come out their house.
I
Not
think
right
they're
away,
gonna do
though. It's
better
gonna take
than
a
what they
minute.
anticipate.
Me and
This is what I'm
Katie
thinking.
even said that.
I'm thinking they're going to do better than what they anticipate movie theaters will. I think movie theaters will do better than they anticipate because they anticipate it being lower. Because that's normally how it goes. They usually anticipate lower than what they get, than what they actually get.
I think
So if
that
they're
they.
expecting the doors to have maybe like 20 people to be there, and there might be 35 people show up, and they'd be like, "What the fuck?" Like we were expecting like just enough to pay the bills, but we're making more than what we expected.
I wouldn't say that's like a normal thing. I wouldn't say that they always do that.
You're right, it's
but
not.
I think that I think once, which is not going to be for like a year. I hope everyone knows that we're not being freaking. This thing is not ending for like another year, which is really sad and depressing. But
We'll see. No, they were
have no
talking
fear.
about some stuff was like starting to go away, like some of the coronavirus
no,
things because
bro,
it's in the heat. It's
we
starting
are
to like.
we're back.
it's
We're
starting
back.
to-
We're back up. That's the problem with all the protesting and everything.
Okay, cite your sources.
Yeah, on the protesting,
I mean,
skyrocketed.
the virus has just
Wait,
it's
cite
gone
cite
way
your
up.
sources because I really haven't been paying attention to what's going on in Corona. I've been more focused on what's going on out in the streets. So but
I just
what
been
is-
hearing
because
it around.
I was afraid
like-
of that, but I haven't looked into anything on it. So I mean,
Yeah, I
we
mean
can
it
use
was
dumb guy
expected.
logic
That's why
and
it's not
say
really
probably-
that big. It's really not that big of a deal because it was expected. You know, people are protesting. There's lots of people around, and it was like a whole weekend plus. You know,
But they weren't even protecting themselves either. Like they weren't wearing
there
masks.
weren't cops
They
wearing
weren't-
masks. People weren't. You know, so it was expected. So it wasn't a big deal when it skyrocketed, and that's what it did. So
And
we're
that's what-
but
Hey, you think they'll make a movie? You think they'll make a movie about this?
no.
bro, this is gonna
I
be
mean,
like hepatitis.
Probably
everybody's
they'll
got it.
figure out something. They'll figure out how to write a script for this. They'll make a love
I
story.
figure out they'll make a movie.
They'll make it a love
I don't
story,
know.
guys.
I mean, they didn't make a story about hepatitis. Like hepatitis is like in dorms in one of three
God.
people.
Oh my goodness,
One
this
in
is
three
not
people have
hepatitis.
hepatitis.
It's very different than hepatitis, or not.
Dude, no, 1 in 3 people have hepatitis. Out of us 3, one of us has hepatitis. That's on average.
I
Like, I'm
know
not
what you're
it's-
saying, but we're
Okay,
saying
well,
that
I
this was a
don't have it.
pandemic.
My
Hepatitis is
blood
never a
was wrong and
pandemic.
everything.
No, what
in
I'm
the
saying
way.
is years to come. Years to come down the road, it might. Of course, it's a different type of virus, and obviously, I'm just using dumb guy
All
logic. But I'm saying,
what I'm saying is that this is a big thing, and this is something that has never happened before in my parents'
like the plague.
lifetime, even in my grandparents' lifetime. That everything is shut down. You know,
well, they had
it
that one
feels
disease in like
it feels
the early
like it feels, huh?
They had that one disease in the early 20th century.
Yeah, they had the Spanish flu, and
No,
but it
no,
wasn't.
something else. It's like
Was it measles?
no, it's like influenza, or it was like this huge thing.
Influenza is just the flu.
Influenza.
That's just the flu.
Yeah, but
But the Spanish
just the
flu
flu.
was in the 20s.
That- Okay, it was something big like that, but it was basically like the same thing that we have now, but it was then.
No, you're
Chickenpox?
you're
Polio?
talking. No. He's talking about the Spanish
that's-
flu for sure, where it killed off, like, I think it was like
Like
a
I said,
quarter
I'm
of
not-
the population
I don't really
or
know,
something. Something crazy. It killed off. It killed a lot of people, and that was in the 20s.
Yeah.
And then, but people were they were comparing that with what's going on today. The only difference is Spanish flu was a lot more deadly than the virus we have today. But yeah, I mean there is comparison, but
But ours is more global. This, I mean, not ours, but this disease is global. It's not small.
I think that Spanish flu was too.
Yeah,
I think it was global.
I don't know. I have no.
Yeah, there was a lot of
I-
similarities with how it spread, but the death rate was very different. And I don't think that I don't know for sure. I haven't done too much research on it, but I don't think the Spanish flu affected the businesses in the United
We can
States.
just do research right now. Pull out our laptops.
Look it up for us, Desmond. But I don't think that I don't think I don't think it shut down the United States like this has. Even though it was more deadly.
Okay, the Spanish flu pandemic right here.
Okay.
Also known as the 1918 flu pandemic, was an unusually deadly influenza caused by the H1N1 influenza A virus, lasting about 15 months from spring 1918 to summer 1919, and infected 500 million people.
Bro.
About a third of the population, the world's population at that time.
Wait, do you know what's so crazy? You know how we have coronavirus and now we have these protests?
Yeah.
In 1918 there was that big thing going on, and then 1919 it was called the Red Summer. And there was this huge riot going throughout the streets where there was a lot of murders of black people, but then it led into killings all over the country of black people and black communities and et cetera, and the NAACP decided, became something then. But it's funny because history's repeating itself. So I'm kind of afraid now because I'm like, oh shit, 1/3 of the population?
Like, here's the thing: we're not gonna ever experience 500 million, or what was it, 500 million deaths?
500 million.
Yeah, we're not even close to that. We're in the thousands still.
But the number of deaths was 50 million.
Infected 500 million, and then okay,
50
so
million
we're
died.
not gonna get to 50 million deaths because it's not that kind of disease.
No, I feel like if we're talking conspiracy here, I feel like every single major pandemic is population control.
Oh,
Really? Okay.
dang.
Taking the red pill on this one. All right.
Well, I mean,
let's get into this conspiracy. Let's get into
doing
this.
the Matrix. I'm taking the red pill.
But
right.
okay.
All right, go.
I mean,
Go ahead.
but-
Explain. Go.
If you think about it, there's every single you remember the Ebola virus?
Yes.
Remember how it was such a big thing? Like,
I
don't
mean,
get
it's-
Ebola. Make sure you get tested, and then you stopped hearing about it.
Because it was in Africa. There was Ebola sprung back
No,
up.
it traveled all across the world.
No, but I'm saying Ebola just sprung up a few weeks ago in Africa. That's where it started.
What do you mean a few weeks ago?
A few weeks ago, there were reported Ebola. There was reported Ebola in
Okay,
Africa.
but I'm saying the media's job of covering it just disappeared.
It didn't disappear. It just didn't. It never reached.
I feel like it did.
It disappeared because it never reached
And
us. It never infected.
There's been cases in America.
Very few, and they contain. It's such a deadly disease that it was contained so fast, and not only that, but it's way harder to transmit than what we're experiencing today.
Hey,
Yeah,
maybe
but
they're
I
just
still
not.
think it's population control.
I don't know about that. What I
We
do want to say
have
is
so many people. We have so many people in the world, and it's getting to the point we can't feed them all. I feel like China and India are the main contributors to this, because they have the most.
Blame them.
well, what I do want to
blaming them.
Okay, what I will
mean-
say is, we as Americans have a huge leg up when it comes to distributing our culture gets distributed way better and way stronger than anyone else in the world.
Right.
So I
What?
think that might have a huge play to that. Our culture is distributed everywhere.
I get. Yeah, I know what you mean.
People know we don't know other people's anything. We don't know if you have a prime minister. We don't know if you have a
Hey, we know K-pop.
president, and if you do, we don't know their names. We don't know the structure. We don't know what's going on
We
in
know.
the country.
We know Kim Jong
Most
Un.
people see, but he's
What about him?
utilitarian figure, and he also had something going on, but we know him, and then everybody knows
And
him.
hold on, I want to
because of
say
a certain
something
reason.
for just quickly because I said something. I know that Kim Jong Un is not the dictator of where K-pop
North Korea?
comes from. Just one, yeah. There's South
No,
Korea.
he
K-pop
can't-
is South
oh,
Korea.
yeah.
Kim Jong Un is
Okay,
North
so
Korea.
we're not talking about K-pop.
No,
Where
no,
did
no.
K-pop
I
come into this
mentioned it.
conversation?
Sorry, I
Yeah,
mentioned it.
yeah,
I was
we're
just
not-
clearing
we're
it
not
up
talking about that.
because it sounded like
We're not even talking about
it
K-pop.
sounded stupid. I sounded stupid for a minute. Hold on. Continue. Sorry.
Okay. So, but no, we're very good at exporting our culture. So that's something that China is trying to catch up with. I don't know how I got there, but we are the biggest of that. So when that Ebola story got crushed, I mean, in America at least, I think maybe it just died down here. Like, I think that might have just been the case. Like, it's not really an import thing that we really need to worry about too much. But, you know, us as Americans, we love donating to Africans. Like, we love donating, making us feel good like we're throwing money. Not us, ourselves, but
No,
Americans.
not
like,
us. White.
Yeah,
so
but-
it's called white guilt. It's called white guilt.
but they like giving money to
Or
certain African nations.
white savior complex. Oh, look at me! I'm gonna donate all my shit to Africa.
What? I
I'm
don't.
gonna
Okay.
help. Like, that's great and all, but honestly, like it gets to a point where I'm just like, are you really doing this for the children, or are you doing this for a fucking check?
Well, here's
I
the
don't know.
thing. I think there's a
because-
lot of people. There's a lot of successful people who have gone to Africa, spent time in Africa, and I mean in the really, really bad parts of Africa, which are really over exaggerated in the media, but they have spent time in those places, and they do you hear
want
about
to
these
help.
people that come back and can't eat because of the things they've seen in these places. Not just Africa, but I think the place
Everywhere.
where the most
Everywhere
children
that's
are starving
oppressed.
is like China or something, but no one talks about China. But whatever.
So, but they are a wealthy nation, and that's something that they choose not to do. It's a communist nation, and blah 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 blah. So
China's
it really
not
goes down
communist.
Yeah, but
China's not
yeah,
communist.
communist
No, they're not.
China.
China's
Yes,
China's
they
fair.
are.
Communist.
They are coming out of communism. They're not even considered communists anymore.
But they are
in
still
certain
communist.
parts. But what's the rule? What's the rule
North
there
Korea
right
is
now?
communist. Huh?
What is the rule of
Are
China
they, still,
right now?
are they still
Are
doing
they-
that one child
Are
rule?
they democratic everywhere, or are they communist in
ended-
most places?
They're. Are you saying democratic?
Communist in most places. No, I'm sorry. Are they Wait, what's our I feel stupid right now. What do we hear?
Huh?
do we
Desmond,
hear?
help him out.
Hold on.
Do
we
you
are
know?
we're a republic.
Republic.
We are a republic. A democracy.
We are a democracy.
Democracy. Okay, so they have democracy in Hong Kong, and they're fighting for that. They don't even have that fully. They're fighting for that.
Did you say in
It's-
Hong Kong?
In Hong Kong, they're fighting for democracy. They have
Why are you
certain things
specifying for
in
Hong
place.
Kong?
because
Hong Kong
you know why they're in.
recently came.
It's like you know
They
why,
recently started their whole quote unquote revolution,
and that's been
where
going on for a
they
while.
Wanted to be treated. Yeah,
That's not just now. It's been going on for a while. But they don't feel like they're actually, it's like they're trying, like the powers that be are trying to make a certain thing look like something else. So they're making it look like it's democracy, but they're still doing some of the same communist stuff that they were doing. They're just rewrapping it, and the people there are not taking it as that. They're like, whoa, 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 whoa. You're trying to pull the wool over our eyes. We want our liberties. We want our freedoms. We want just to be able to do what we need to do, and that's why there's a huge. I mean, I'm obviously
I don't
making
think.
it.
I don't think you could call
I'm
China
generalizing,
communist, though,
but-
anymore. I don't think.
No,
they're
I didn't say
communists
that.
anymore.
I'm saying, but majority of it is communist. It's communist rule.
I
we
don't
could
think you
have-
can say
if-
that anymore, though.
If we had 3 cities in America that were communist, and then the rest of America is a democracy, we're not going to say, oh, well, I can't say that it's fully a democracy. Of course not, but it's not. It's more communist than it's. You see what I'm saying? Like China is more of a communist rule than it is democracy.
And
they don't even have true democracy
we are not,
there. It's like it's wool over their eyes. They're saying it like it's a democracy, but they're playing to the same rules and patterns as a communist rule.
I want to go back and correct something because we're capitalist. We're capitalist.
We're capitalistic
country.
Society, but we're a democracy rule.
We're democracy.
We are democracy.
Yeah,
That's
we have
our
democracy rule, but we're a capitalistic
capitalist.
society. That's why we can have big business. That's why we can have XYZ. Like it's all in one. So if you ever read like the things that came to make the country how it is, it came from these what's his name?
Right to property, right to ownership.
Like because the people what's his name? I'm forgetting names, but it's.
We should get off this because we're just proving that we have not done any research on any of this.
No, because I do know it. It's like Frank. What's his name?
I don't like talking about
just
things.
Get off it. Let's get off it.
Where
but
I'm just
I
like,
do know,
I kind of know about it, but I want to have like notes and stuff.
It is Benjamin Franklin. Benjamin Franklin was a huge component to socialistic ideals. So he was a big component to socialistic ideas, which is you get this parcel of land, you get to build your own home, and it was a socialistic look. So what we have is a mixture of looks of capitalistic societies, socialistic society. We have a democratic or a democracy as a rule, which is a republic as well, and it's like a morph version of that. So we did a mixing pot to our to make this country how we wanted it shaped, or not us, but that's why they're called the forefathers, because they forged and made us, or made the lands of the law. And that's
okay.
And that's
you guys know
how it's seen. So it's the
I want to get off this subject really bad. So,
okay. But there's
why?
Because
I
You want to talk about how bad communism is and how bad socialism is?
No, I know. First off, I don't know enough about it.
Just look at the definition.
But no,
I know the definition, but I don't know enough about,
it itself.
I don't want to say things without knowing them factually,
No, I read it. I read into this stuff.
Okay.
Stuff. It's a melting pot of philosophies, is what it is.
Right.
That's what.
And I've heard of that. I've heard that.
Off of.
I've heard that for sure. Have you guys heard that? And I'm just bringing this up. I just want to ask you guys if you heard that George Floyd actually knew.
Yeah.
Was it Derek Chauvin?
Yeah, I saw something like that.
Yeah,
he knew his killer.
Yeah. He did.
They apparently they worked together
all the time. I heard.
Yeah. That's kind of crazy that has not come out like the way that.
You think so? Here's another question. Do you think it was premeditated?
That makes it more premeditated, doesn't it? The fact that he knew him?
But it wasn't a setup. So if you can show how it's a setup, then it's premeditated. But it's not shown to be a setup. You see how it's seen in law. But they
bumped heads. He had
matter.
reason. He had it makes it so that he has reason to kill him. But that's not the same as premeditated murder. Premeditated murder, it's a degree of it.
Well,
like if I know.
Okay, yeah, but he could think like like for the last time they bumped heads, like I really hate this guy. I hope something bad happens to him. If something ever happens, and I get called. Hope I get to arrest him. Blah blah blah.
I think the fact that he knew
I'm gonna do something.
It's just that's enough. I mean, and the fact that they had bad blood. That's
he felt he could. I'm thinking off of an ideology of if you did something and it's premeditated that you would want to get rid of the body. But I think he was well,
he's a cop and he did it on camera.
Exactly, and that was the part but I think it is premeditated murder, and the reason why is because the civil liberties that he was presented as a police officer made him feel that this was justified, and he could get away with it by the simple rule of saying that, well, I felt like I had fear. There was fear for my life. He was grabbing for my baton while I was beating his ass. He was grabbing for my baton.
But he can't say that because it's not on camera.
Wait.
I mean,
yeah,
it's all on camera, so he can't say that.
I felt he was. But no, what I'm saying is, like, of course he can't say that now, but like that would have been a story if this would have never made it so big. If it would have never gone past the city's eye view, which has been something that's been happening with these people, with these people that have been beaten or harassed with police brutality and have
I mean,
had the fate of dying behind.
The thing is, if it's on camera, it's getting out. You know, there's been a lot of these situations where it's not caught on camera.
Yeah.
No, there's no problem. I'm saying that the reason why it escaped the city was because it was caught on camera. The whole situation was caught on camera.
But that's what I'm saying is that's happened before, and all they did was relocate the police officers. All they did was.
Oh, you're talking about the punishment of the officer. Okay.
Yeah, the punishment of the officer. He knew it wasn't going to be to the. He didn't think it was going to be to the extent of manslaughter, second degree manslaughter, or second degree murder.
So what you're saying is he meant to accidentally kill him.
No, it's not an accident if you meant to do it.
It's not meant.
That's
to
what
be
I'm saying.
accident.
I'm saying,
yeah,
but as he knew he was on camera, so he wasn't purposefully killing him on camera.
He wanted to look as if it was
accidentally killed him doing his job. He accidentally killed him doing his job. But
that's his argument. But it was obviously intentional. His argument was that it wasn't intentional, but the defense's argument is it was intentional. You definitely wanted to kill this man. Why the hell would you stand on his neck for 8 minutes and 46 seconds? He's not grabbing at anything. He's sitting there calmly because he can't do anything else. There's 4 people there, so you're telling me that one man...
It sucks. That was his last 8 minutes of life, was spent in pain and agony.
8
So
minutes,
I hope these cops go away for a long time.
Let's end it right there. I mean, not end it, the show, but like in that conversation there.
Conversation?
That's
okay.
All right,
that's
guys,
the fact
good show.
about it.
32 minutes.
Yeah, nah.
So another thing that I read is Confederate named bases. Do you think that they should be their name should be changed?
like our military bases?
Yeah. Do you think that we should
Confederate name bases?
Confederate
I see
names,
what you mean.
so named after like Confederate soldiers.
This is the thing. Like it shouldn't take all this to make you want to make a change. Like the symbolic gestures, I really don't care for. If you're gonna change the name, you should have been done it. But yes, I need that, and I need the parts that makes this thing okay in the system removed. The things that make it okay in the system needs to be removed, and that's the thing I'm fighting for. The names that's like you're saying, okay, we'll give you this. Are you done? Like that's kind of like what they're saying. They're like, okay, we're gonna start relinquishing these things that aren't really of need to us. The things that's of need is the institutional things that need to be changed. And because it's an election year, it's a perfect time to ask for these things to be changed. And it's finally being able to see you'll finally be able to see a change if we keep pushing and if we keep trying to make a difference in a peaceful fashion or by any means necessary. So
point blank, I think that they need to change. I think that it would be okay to change the names. You can put these Confederate soldiers in a book somewhere for the people who want to remember them, and I think that bases where every color of people fight for our freedom. I think that they should not be named after Confederate soldiers.
Say it with your chest, Eric. Say it with your chest.
I think that I don't think that bases should be named after Confederate soldiers who wanted to keep slavery. That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
When every color
That's not who America is.
Every color fights for the U.S.
It is America.
Yeah, but it is. However, it's not who we are now. Like
I know.
there are some shades of that.
Yeah, but you
But
guys,
it's not who we are.
you
What do you
guys
mean?
agree with me, right? Where
And you have to
like
think that, in order to get rid of, those names, it wouldn't take time. It'll just take a lot more protesting.
Yeah, well, that's just my opinion. I think Trump has said he's not even going to consider it. That's what we have a racist president. That makes sense. I'm just saying that it doesn't make sense to me that we would have Confederate soldiers base names when we have every color in the I mean, let's not forget what these people were fighting for.
Wait.
People forget what these people were fighting for. I mean, if black people were fighting for white supremacy, do we have any black people that are I mean, like there was whatever. You know what I mean?
Eric,
that kind of got lost somewhere else. But
my question is this: so the names, yeah, get rid of them. I'm with you guys on that. But do you guys believe that's where it should end, or should the systems that make this continually happen be changed and reformed?
I think that there's lots of things in the system. Yeah, I think there's lots of things in the system that need to be changed.
Okay, so
and I think there's a lot of things that we should forget if we want to continue.
Forget?
Yeah, I think that Confederate, that's white supremacy, straight up.
The Confederate part of history should be forgotten.
Yes.
Right. And here's another fun fact. The NASCAR Association finally decided to ban the Confederate flag at their events. So anybody who's shown
I'm surprised they did
wearing any type of Confederate flag gear or waving the Confederate flag, they'll be absolutely...
That is that's a big deal because NASCAR their whole
yeah, NASCAR
that's
is
a white sport, and it's a big deal that they did that because they're going to receive a ton of hate from that. So that's good. That's good for NASCAR.
They have a first. I think they have cars that have Black Lives Matter on it.
Wow.
I know. I'm like, those cars are gonna either crash or burn or
that's
both.
Crazy. Yeah. See, I think Confederate needs to be wiped out. Confederate soldiers, not wiped out. That makes it sound so bad.
Confederate era anything needs to be wiped out. It's a way for white people to hold on to the fact that they almost had their total complete control and everything, and it's something for them to hold on to. I think it's old. I think it's tired. Yeah, you may argue it's their heritage. But it's an old and tired way of thinking to me. Because
they were fighting for slavery. They were fighting for
it's something for them
supremacy.
to just hold on to and remember in history.
All right. So
that's
here's
it.
my thing. This is the problem. Getting rid of symbolism that has to do with racism doesn't do anything about the structural mind of racism. So the fact that they allowed the symbolism of racism to continue walk through their walls until it became something unjust in the whole world does speak a lot in a lot of volumes to that crowd and to that place.
I don't know what you
NASCAR.
just said. Can you repeat that?
What I said is the symbolism that was allowed to be portrayed with the Confederate flag that got to run through the halls and through the places of NASCAR doesn't change the mentality of the fans. Just because they can't symbolically go out there and wait, let me finish.
Well, we can't change the mentality of the fans without first taking a few steps in the right direction.
That doesn't really change the mindset of the fans. That just makes less people come to the events. But what I'm saying is the symbolism, the symbolism has changed, but the people who still drive NASCAR can still have their same racist rhetoric if they wanted to. It's just died down.
What do we do about that, Arnett? We can't do anything about what individual people think.
No, like you can ban. Like I agree with Arnett. You can ban everything that's racist in the world, but people are still gonna hold
Yeah,
on
I
to their
know.
sadistic,
But what
sad
I'm
way
saying
of
is,
thinking.
What I'm
what do we
saying is,
do about that? We
I'm not
can't do
trying
anything
to,
about that.
what I was gonna
But we
say
can-
is the changing NASCAR doesn't change it. Like it doesn't change the mentality of those
No.
people. Like
It does,
in
though.
hitting-
Here's the thing. Like,
No, it does not.
here's the thing.
No,
No,
not-
here's the
wait a-
thing. If
I
you're a
think
NASCAR
I get
fan,
what both of you guys are saying. I get what both
if
of you
you're a
guys are saying.
NASCAR fan,
Arnett saying it will not be happen immediately. Well, no, Eric's saying it will not happen immediately.
no, I'm saying
But what Arnett's saying,
I agree with you guys.
hold on, just talk. I don't know what
No,
I'm
I'm saying I agree with you guys. I 100% agree that it doesn't change individual minds. It doesn't change the racist things that people will still do in NASCAR. That's not the point, though. In the long run, it will help because
are you thinking it's
when-
gonna
when-
change the children?
yes, it'll change by
No,
generation.
It's not. It's not going to
How
change.
do you say
because the
that when
people
it's
that's-
been changing by
because the
generation,
racist people
year
that
after
watch
year,
it are
decade
still
after
gonna be
decade?
watching it on TV and still saying racial rhetoric
Hold on,
when
hold on,
other
hold
things
on, hold
come
on.
on the
But-
screen. It has nothing to do
Eric,
with that. It's an
Eric.
all-white sport predominantly, basically, and that's not changing. So I'm not saying they need
How
to
do you know it's
integrate
not
the sport. That's
changing?
not what I'm saying. Because it's not. I
Eric.
know it's not.
Eric,
What does
We
Desmond want
just
to
all
say?
said NASCAR
Eric.
is.
what do you say? Are you saying like for your future generations, as in when your kids watch NASCAR, which I
I don't
highly
think
doubt,
So, yeah.
they're gonna look and say, "Oh, there's no Confederate flag anymore."
No, but what
Yeah.
I'm saying is that kids who
NASCAR is always
now
going to have a
attend
racial undertone.
NASCAR.
It's always going to have
Here's
one.
the thing. Here's what I'm saying is that now kids that attend NASCARs won't see that Confederate flag waving over the track in pride.
You know,
So they'll think about
know-
it. They'll say why.
this is what's going to happen. You're going to start to make
Why is that
heroes out of the
changed?
people who start using that symbolism when they're off the track. When you see a
You
NASCAR
can't-
driver
we
and
can't-
they're wearing a Confederate something or something that has to do with like the memorabilia of Confederate things, like things that the Confederate hold true, like they'll stop using that and they'll use something else that they had that we as a culture don't know or connect to about theirs. They're going to use that. And what I'm talking about is the white supremacy signs and signals that they have. They have tattoos that they have. They have all different things that we don't know about that they have that they will still can't be changed. I'm pretty sure there's people in NASCAR right now that have like a Confederate tattoo somewhere in their body that doesn't
sure,
show the
like,
same Confederate flag.
I
but
wouldn't
it's
say
like
drivers, but probably fans. Yeah.
But what I'm
sure.
saying is the ones what I'm saying is the ones that have that stuff and they post it on Instagram, the people who are part of that culture that know about white supremacy are gonna fuck with them tougher, and they're gonna see them as heroes if they ever do. The one that comes out bold enough and wears the flag somewhere out in public and gets accidentally taken a picture of by a fan or something. Those people will start to become the heroes of the white supremacy. So what I'm saying is you're starting to make heroes in that field just by taking away that from something easier and simple.
That is such flawed thinking. That's so flawed. That doesn't make sense. You're gonna make heroes.
It makes
so
complete
by,
sense.
No,
It makes
you
complete
can't-
sense.
You make heroes of no. Come on.
Eric, symbolic
what are we
symbols-
gonna Arnett? What are you suggesting we do? We don't outlaw anything.
I don't
We
know
don't
what to
like.
do, but what I'm
what
saying
do you,
is
are you saying NASCAR did not take a step in the right direction? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not saying I
feel like they
I'm just
did.
But
saying
I'm asking
it
Arnett.
doesn't
What,
change anything about the fans of NASCAR.
I understand
just
what you're
because
saying,
you
but
took
should
away
they?
the
What should they
symbolism-
do?
But
What should?
it's
what
a start.
What I'm
It's a
saying,
I like
start.
it.
I'm trying
Like,
to.
don't
I'm
get me
trying
wrong.
to. Arnett. So what should we do? Should we go into the households of NASCAR and like strip them of everything
I
that
think
they
you
own?
keep trying to make a logical point of this. I'm not trying to say that there's any way to fix this. What they did was correct.
So what
and
you're
right.
saying
What
is
I'm
there's
saying
no
is
way to
that
fix it.
stuff is
NASCAR is
unless you-
NASCAR, and we should just leave it alone.
no. What I'm saying is the way to fix it is by by the institutions that they go to, by better integration, by
Of course,
better
we're
integration
working on
of,
that too.
communities to also
Yeah.
like have the economic dollar to where black people aren't seen as something of just poverty.
Arnett, I'm not
people.
saying. I'm saying we're doing all of that too, but I think that
we're not.
banning symbol. Yeah, we are. That's what we're fighting for. That's why we're protesting.
No, I get that, but what I'm saying is like the thing is there's a whole lot of talk. There's a whole lot of talk like them taking away the Confederate name, like the Confederate soldiers' names on the army bases. Like that's just all talk. You're not really putting some substance till you start saying that I'm going to make until they start
For me,
doing
if
the
I'm a
change on
soldier,
it.
I'm saying that it's uncomfortable for a
I don't like
soldier, a black
symbolism.
soldier, to live on a base that's named after a Confederate soldier that would have rather him been a slave.
I didn't even know until now that they had Confederate soldiers
Yeah, they
named
do.
bases.
So
it's like as an African American who,
So I'm gonna look
you know,
that up.
like
wait, here's-
I don't want, if I'm a soldier, I don't want to stay on a base that has a Confederate soldier name.
okay, but here's the thing. I'm saying that's a change that makes a difference, but it's just symbolism. It's not true change. You're changing this, but the institution
Arnett,
there
I'm not
hasn't
canceling out.
changed.
I'm not canceling
Yeah,
out
what-
everything else we're doing. I'm saying that that's an added thing.
There's approximately 10.
I'm not either. I'm
Confederate
not canceling
name bases.
Wait,
But
I'm not
but I'm
canceling
saying,
out
but
everything
you're
either.
saying, you're like taking my argument and saying that, but this will
I'm
work
not
better.
taking your-
I'm not saying that this won't work better. I'm just saying that these are good
No,
steps
okay,
in the
see,
right
you-
direction.
you think that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that is that. I'm saying that's. I'm not trying to settle at just this. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying
No, we're not
because
settling.
we've
No one's
seen in the
settling.
past-
I didn't
No,
say
what I'm
settle.
saying is I know that, but when I'm talking to the viewers when I was saying this because the things that have happened in the past is a lot of things have been settled in the history of in the past history where things did not change, and we've been in this same situation and things just didn't change. They just gave us symbols that made things to make us feel like it was going to change.
Arnett,
but
we
it
have
did
never
not.
settled. I don't agree with that. We've never settled. We have gotten things as time goes on. There are more and more things that change, right? Black people, like you say, we don't have that much power. We're only 13% of the population, and we only have 2.7% of the wealth, which means we don't have much power, right? So when we're doing things, we do small things, and they lead to bigger things. That's how it's always
Eric,
worked.
I see what you're saying. You're saying
Hold on, the fact that Trump said he won't even consider changing the names.
That's what I'm saying.
It's sad because he you think about the Confederate Army and who they are. They fought to preserve the right to
Own people.
to keep and own slaves. And the fact that the military, the United States military, not the Confederate, the United States military named 10 bases after these Confederate soldiers says something that's wrong to begin with. Like, they still have this idea of the form of slavery of some kind. And the fact that our president won't even consider renaming them is something to not to be shocked about. Just to, it's just. I'm not surprised by that.
I'm not either. It's Trump. He's racist. We all know this.
Yeah.
Even if he,
I'm not surprised
and
by that.
it's just crazy. It's just crazy. Let's talk about something else. Got me all worked up.
Yeah, we got like about 10 minutes left.
Can we?
got about 10
Can
minutes
I
left.
suggest we talk about the NBA's return? Since
The
yeah.
NBA?
I feel like it would be a quick
What about
10-minute talk. I'm excited. That's the only reason. You guys could like slip in some NFL stuff too.
Okay, what about the NBA?
Like the return. They're returning on July 31st.
right.
Sorry, Arnett. We kind of
I don't know, man.
we changed topics a little bit.
What the hell? Okay, hold on. I heard you guys, but no, what I did want to say is, to what you were saying earlier about the about things are constantly going forward, The reason why I have some hesitation on saying stuff like that is because of. Let me give a couple examples. Riot of '92, the LA riot of '92. Rodney King had his ass beat, basically. Got hit with the club about 48 to 64 times.
Yo, wait a minute. We're talking about the NBA.
No. He wants the last point. I'll let him have his last point.
I wanted to put
okay.
this in.
All
I
right.
wanted to put this in full perspective. So there was a case. That case, those police officers went to trial. They basically got us some trouble. I think they got suspended. They had them retrialed. Now what they did was they moved them from where they were, which was like a part of LA that was like predominantly black and Hispanic and Asian, and then they moved the trial to a place that was 96% white, further out in LA, which was a police county. It was a county that had the most police in it, and they moved it over there, and they got acquitted. And they allowed the day of that trial was the day that the riot started. So the problem is, we've seen through the time till now, from that time to this time, we've seen police officers relocated, but they still got to keep their jobs. We saw police officers stay at the same police departments. We saw this happening until all the way up to George Floyd. So what I'm saying is to say that we made such a huge stride and such huge differences between that time to this time, off of just, I'm saying I'm tired of symbolic change. Like they did something about it after the riots. But before the riots, they were willing to let them go. And we've constantly seen people being let go.
This is the same argument we were having the other day. Because
being let go.
This is the same. Look at Arnett. This is the same argument we were having the other day, because we have two different things where I feel like we are constantly making progress, whereas you feel like we've been standing still for years, right?
I feel like in certain sectors we have been standing still. I'm not saying in every sector we haven't, but
for me, just feels like, it seems like every decade or so, we do break through with something. We do get something through. I mean, if you think about how black people were seen in the 1920s.
Wait. We're talking about police brutality. So tell me how.
No, we're not talking about police brutality. We're talking about symbolism and Confederate flags being removed from NASCAR. We're talking about police brutality.
Hey, just so you know, we got like 5 minutes
it's
left.
Fine. So we're not talking about police brutality. We're talking about symbolism, like you said, the racist symbols in America. And
I was talking about police brutality.
I'm saying, I know but what I'm saying is that we have not corrected police brutality, but every decade or so we have to correct something in the United States, and it's something.
Well, we haven't been correcting that, and that's been going on.
But what I'm saying is there's so many things to correct. Like, if you think about how black people were perceived in the 1920s, then in the 1930s, then the 40s, and the 50s and 60s.
So you're saying we're allocating our energy too far out? We're stretching ourselves too wide?
No. I'm saying that every black. This is not the only problem black people have. Police brutality is not the only problem black people face. We have lots of problems.
It's a major issue that's been standing still.
But here's the thing: there are lots of major issues that black people face, and there are many issues that kill black people all through history. And I'm saying that every decade or so, we get something passed. We improve something to make sure that black people aren't dying. This is one of those things. No.
It's not one of those things. It's been
No,
going on
I
forever.
said it.
No,
You literally
I
just
didn't
said it.
say. Look, I didn't say police brutality hasn't been going on forever. I didn't say that.
You want to know something?
That's a fact.
They
That's
outlawed.
a fact.
Wait, here's the thing. They outlawed the choke. They outlawed chokes in '92 in L.A. They just now outlawed chokes in 2020 in New York, knowing that that same choke has been killing and have been killing a whole lot of people, predominantly black people.
What I'm saying
So,
is that would you guys
that
want to
just
live in
got
the
changed.
1920s?
And not everywhere. Still
Would you
not
guys
everywhere.
as black men want to live in the 1920s?
Well, I wouldn't be alive because I'm mixed.
You think that there weren't mixed people in the 1920s?
No,
Bro.
I don't think so.
Slavery,
Like a small
Integration.
not
It
that
was
small.
illegal.
It's a lot less small than people think. I mean,
Desmond would have been illegal.
slaves were having a
Desmond
lot
would have
of
been illegal.
half white, half black children. Anyway,
Desmond,
But I would have been illegitimate.
no, you wouldn't have been
Desmond
because
would
you
have
would have
been
been
illegal.
integrated into.
Basically.
Anyway,
Okay, but besides
guys want-
besides
would
the
you-
slavery point, we got
I know.
we got 4 minutes
would
left.
you
and I'm tired
guys
of talking
want
about this
to
shit.
live?
So we're
No,
talking
no,
about
no.
the NBA.
No, hold on.
and-
I want to ask
No,
you
no,
guys
no,
have
no.
to answer this question.
This is tiring.
Would you guys
bro.
want to
Come
live in the
on.
1920s? Would you want to live
No,
in the 1930s?
final answer.
In the 40s?
No.
what are you getting at? What are you getting at?
I wouldn't
You're
rather
trying to
live
say
any
I have a
1990
question.
Why?
period.
Would anybody of any race want to live in the 1920s compared to
White
now?
people?
No. Anybody that no, they would not.
Why not?
They would not.
Why not?
Because there's technology changes, there's horrible
Hold on,
medical.
Eric, would you want to live in the
No,
1920s?
as a black man, no. What I'm saying is
Nobody
that if
would
there was
wanna
a
live
time,
in the 1920s.
Then why'd you
if
ask
there
that
was
question?
a,
Nobody
if
would
there
wanna
was
live in
a,
the 1920s.
if what I'm saying is, if we could time travel, could we go? Would you want to go back?
We ain't going back.
But what I'm
Nope.
saying is, like, white people. There are
There
white
ain't much
people who
for us
love the
going
60s,
backwards.
white people who love the 70s, white people who want to go back to, that time. What
But
I'm
if you
saying
ask-
is,
Okay, then that's on them.
but what I'm
They're
saying
white.
is, we were in a lot worse position back then than we are now. Correct?
It's hard to say.
Oh my God!
What? But why would you want to go
I'm
Yeah,
not
back?
nobody
saying let's
wanna
go
go
backwards.
backwards.
Who in
I'm
their
saying
right
I'm trying to
mind
prove
would
a
wanna
point.
go
I'm saying
backwards?
that
Because it's
things are not as bad now as they were back then. Right?
All right.
If you say so.
Yeah, that's great. Are we
We
done
think
now?
that we really think that today is like the 60s and like the 50s.
God.
there's a whole lot of shit that hasn't been changed from the 50s and 60s.
Oh, we're tripping. I'm sorry. Anyway, on the NBA.
Y'all are tripping, bro. You've been talking about the same shit for the past 2-3 days now.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, ain't gonna fight on camera though.
I want to talk about sports.
I just
I
said,
wanna
let's
talk
go
about
on
sports.
NBA, but you guys are tripping. You guys think that the 60s still in the 50s and the
You
40s.
keep saying wait. You keep
What do
yeah.
you-
You
wait,
keep
wait,
saying
hold
it's the
on,
same
hold on.
time. Like
Now, who?
thank you.
just said
You
that.
keep saying it. No, you just said have.
What?
I said some of the things are still
No.
the same as then, and you keep making the point that everything
Yeah.
has changed. Everything has been
I
has
didn't say
made a
everything
difference,
has
has
changed.
developed and been different. But I think you're arguing. You're on the same page, but I think you're arguing something that's not what we're saying, because we understand there's innovations and changes that have happened. We're not saying that there isn't, but the things that have happened and the things that have changed they outweigh. They still outweigh. And some of those things have been the
I'm
same
not
since
weighing
that period.
anything. I'm not weighing anything. I don't have.
We have come a long way from the 60s, 40s, 30s,
Right.
20s, whatever.
But we haven't fixed everything.
And we still have
I
a long
know.
way
We
to
haven't
go.
fixed everything.
And we
That's what
we
I'm
haven't
saying, though,
fixed
Desmond.
everything.
Desmond,
And we
what
can't
I'm
fix
saying
everything.
is that Arnett's saying that things have not changed.
No, I'm saying some things have not changed. Some things have not changed. It's some of the stuff is exactly the same. Police brutality.
I know this.
Exactly the same.
I'm not
So-
saying there are certain things that haven't changed, but I'm saying that
So
through
what's
the
what's
through
the
the
disconnect?
decades, things have gotten better. Why is that when I ask you guys that question, you guys
House,
are
right?
like,
Are we talking about medical? Are you talking medical? What are you talking about here?
I like,
dental
like
vision?
it's crazy.
Niggas still get hit by, get
Like
beat
you
up
guys
like
are saying
hotcakes.
what
Like,
I'm
what
saying.
You talking about?
You guys
What
are
you
saying
talking
what
about?
I'm saying, but then when I ask you a question, you guys don't answer. Things have gotten better.
What
Things
Thank you,
have
cuz
gotten
you saying that. That's
better.
broad.
Things have gotten
You're
better.
making it too broad.
How is that
Be
broad?
more specific. Things have gotten better, guys. All right, let's go back out here.
Okay, here's
Was that not
have
vague, that
things
sentence?
gotten better since the 1920s?
Was that not a vague sentence?
This is my question. Have things gotten better for black men, black people, since the 1920s?
Some things.
I'm not
There you
saying
go.
all things. I'm saying have things in general gotten better.
But I don't want,
What do you mean
Yeah.
by in general? Like, what are we talking about?
because once again, redlining still exists. Like, the things that still make a big issue when it comes to economic and equality, those are the things that we're not getting. That was the thing I'm trying to say.
I know what you guys are saying. I know. I get the
problem is that-
details. I get what you guys are
So,
saying.
okay,
The
so-
details. But I'm saying that
Yeah, so it's like we got some stuff, but they seem like they're not big. They're not helping. Like,
I guess what I'm
they
asking-
do some good, but they don't do enough to make a change. is
I guess what I'm
that's my
asking,
whole
if
argument.
I were to ask this, is it better to live in the 1920s as a black man or 2020 as a black man?
2020, obviously, Jesus Christ. Like I'm
That's
gonna,
what I'm asking.
I'm gonna go back
2020.
when
You can't walk
I'ma
down
go
the
back
street
when polio
without
wasn't
getting
That's
here.
all I was
lynched
asking.
Yeah, right.
That's literally everything
I'm
I was
going
saying. Is it better to live now than back then? That's it.
I'm not going back.
Then why'd you
It
say
wasn't
this?
a loophole. I was
I'm
asking,
fucking
have
around
things
and
gotten
all this.
better? And you guys were
Roller
like,
coaster.
I don't know. I'm like, well,
Because you kept making it vague. You were the vaguest person ever.
vague.
Things have
I
gotten
just-
better. It's like, okay,
Arnett,
what
I
things?
literally
'Cause
just
a lot of
asked you
things
the
happen.
same thing.
It was a broad.
Is it better to
Thank
live in
you.
the 1920s
I'm not
than
the only one that
2020s?
sees it.
It was not that broad. I'm sorry, but
It was a
and to
broad-
me,
Yeah.
generally,
Rock and
generally,
roll sucked. Everything
have gotten
fucking
better.
sucked back in the 1920s. Everything was ass.
Yes, things have gotten
Nobody
better.
wants to go back to the 1920s.
I
But
didn't
not
say have
all
all things
things.
gotten better. I said have things gotten better. There are certain things that have
Here's the
gotten
thing.
better from 1920s.
Wait, here's the thing. Somebody from 1820 would have want to go to the 1920s. Anybody from 1720 would have want to go to the 1820. Like, it's of course you're gonna want to go 100 years forward.
Right,
I would like to
because
see 100
things get
years
better.
forward.
People who
But
live,
that's not
they
always
want to
the
go
case in
100 years
some
forward.
places, but yes, you're right.
100
Here,
years.
yes,
I
it
would
may-
want to. I want to see what 3020 looks like. You know?
Okay, Eric, we get it. Now you're just
know what I
saying
mean, yeah.
what we said, but being a douche about it. We get it. 1,000 years.
Okay, yo, check this out. We have reached the end of our show.
Hey. Wait,
Thanks
hold
for
on. Is baby
listening.
powder?
Like, comment, subscribe. It's done.
on, guys.
It's done. We're
I
done.
just wanted to ask.
We're done. We're done for the day.
Do some people
Like,
use
comment,
baby powder
subscribe.
instead of deodorant? Do people do that? Do people use baby
Huh?
powder instead of deodorant?
That's
All
a
right,
random question.
English-
Just ignore him.
What?
That's a good question.
I'm not your guys'
Oh
friend
my
anymore.
God.
We're not friends anymore.
Tune
Forget
in
y'all.
next week. We have our
You
whatever
guys don't
episode we're
understand
on.
me.
Episode 4. It'll be episode 4. It'll be coming out soon.
Oh my god!
This is 3, Arnett.
I know. The next episode. He was saying episode 4, so I was finishing the sentence.
Desmond,
Yes,
hurry up,
episode
hurry up
whatever.
and sign out.
Thanks for listening. Tune in next week.
Bye.
Okay.